Morning. How we doing today? Just working towards some couple things here, but I'm just getting out the door. I got to get to the storage unit. We got prepping for the cabin, prepping for this, prepping for that, and I got to get to the store. So it's a busy day, but I start the day with every day I have a protein shake in the morning after breakfast. It just works for me. I try to keep my protein content up, and I kind of track it. And I love this particular brand. Shinosa is this particular. It's a French vanilla taste. Tastes great. Does not gritty. It doesn't taste terrible. It's very good. I love this particular brand and this particular flavor. But the thing was about decision. So I got to get in the library here. One thing about our place here compared to our other house is the space that we use for our office library isn't quite as large as the other spot. Now we haven't made the decision to do anything about it because there are probably some other options in the house, but I like this particular location. Anyway, the reason I wanted we're going to talk about decision today a little bit and the various forms of decision and what happens. But I wanted to dig up the book by Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, uh, called Becoming Supernatural. I've read the book probably 6-7 times at least. And it shows it's kind of worn, and we've studied it in our book club before as well. So it's a very interesting and viable source of information, because once we make a decision uh, in our mind, or we make our mind up, is how it's phrased, our body goes into action and either follows along with you and does what you want to do, or says, no, excuse me, we don't do that. We stay on this safe and narrow path. We just kind of look after ourselves here. We don't go crazy and do stuff like that. So Joe Dispenza explains it, and the reason I want to dig up his book again, because I want to look at that particular excerpt again, is he expresses it in one of his favorite sayings is, cells that fire together wire together. So our body controls us. So you've often heard the phrase that where we function at 95% unconsciously, or subconscious fires 95% of our daily activity. So this explains that a lot. So it explains a lot about decision and why we have tough time making decisions that are outside of what our body wants to let us do, because our body wants to protect us. Our body wants to make us safe. Body wants to make us sure we're on the straight and narrow path. So it's a really cool thing. What's going on? Trapper and I are just doing some duties here, getting ready for some winter trekking that we're going to get done. Cabin trip planned. We got Louise's shoes here. Louise wears a 12 by 42s, and I wear a 14 by 48. Now that measurement is, the width is 14 and the length is 42. And so Louise's width is 12 and her length is 42. So that is rated based on your weight, your size, your weight, and all that kind of stuff. And then we have two toboggans. We have one that's a Pelican 60, and then another Eagle Claw jet sled that we tow. We have harnesses that we put on and stuff. And when you talk about having soulful experiences, and you have your toboggan full of goods, water, food, etc., all the essentials to go to the cabin for 3 or 4 days, after you're about halfway through, you kind of get to the point where you think, okay, well, maybe there's another way to do this. But it's just such a great experience. We've often said, many times actually, that we, in the midst of the trip going to the cabin, we end up seeing so many things. Lots of people say to us, why don't you have a snowmobile? Why don't you have We would miss so much if we would just rip it in on a motorized vehicle. Would it be handy? Would it be convenient? Absolutely. But would it be an experience that we would see things, from hawks to owls to just a beautiful sunny day, crossing the pond, because when the pond gets frozen, we can walk across there. It's just a totally different experience when you make the decision, and decision is a big thing. I've been talking about decision with myself for a little while, and the decision is has many, many definitions, but just the decision to walk in pays so many dividends. It's just incredible how much more you get out of the trip by doing the walk in. Now, the physical struggle, yeah, I hear you. Especially as I get a little bit older, it's there. There's no two ways about it. I completely understand the physical struggle. But when you think about decision, my mentor, Bob Proctor, I mentioned him before, he always said about decision that it should be made swiftly, accurately, and then action taken, and have the discipline to do so. And discipline in his, now often with discipline, funny when we get down to this rabbit hole, but when he talked about discipline, he talked about it being, often discipline is considered something, I'm going to discipline you for, you did something wrong, so I'm going to discipline you. His definition of discipline was to give yourself a directive or an order or a command, however you want to phrase it, and then have the discipline to execute that plan. And I think that's a really great message, actually, to do. So one, to make that decision, and then two, to have the discipline to follow through on that decision. Thought it was a great little excerpt while we were getting our gear all ready here. I just made it out to the field here where Trapper and I are going to do a little bit of training today. We try to train him every day. We have to train every day. I always said to Trapper, here. There we go, sorry. I always said that when we were real estate and we had all realtors and stuff in the office and whatever, I always said that you've got to work on your business, but you got to work on yourself and your training in your business every day. And that's what we do with Trapper. But I was just thinking, I was thinking about the decision and doing the things that you want to do and make the decision, have the discipline to do it, and all that kind of stuff as I was talking about. And it reminded me of a little cartoon I saw of Piglet and Winnie the Pooh. And Winnie the Pooh said to Piglet as they were sitting on a bench that we only live once. And Piglet said, "No, Pooh, we live every day. We only die once." I thought that was a really good message. Have a great day.